Hi friends, Karissa here. Thank you so much for joining me at the A Glow in the Dark podcast. I am super stoked to have you here with me today, and I'm going to be talking about the self-care debate. Did you know that there was a self-care debate? You probably didn't. But I have noticed online that there seem to be two camps of people with self-care. On one side, it's people that really advocate for it and promote it as something that's important as part of our daily lives. On the other side are people saying that it's narcissistic and selfish and makes people just care about themselves. My take on it is that self-care is very important, and I'm going to explain why I don't think self-care is selfish. Now, on the other side of the debate, I tend to see more of my friends that are religious and Christian saying things like that it takes away from your devotion to God or takes away from you being of service to other people. And I think that that's probably a misconception because I'm sure you've heard all of the cliches about self-care, but there's the one that says you can't pour from an empty cup. There's the one that says when your mask falls from the ceiling of the airplane, you put it on yourself first so that you can put it on your kids so that you can take care of other people. I'm sure there's more that you've heard, but that's really the heart and the crux of self-care is that if you deplete yourself, if you exhaust yourself, you have nothing left to give anybody else. I really experienced this when I had my kid, especially in those first couple months. I was so depleted and exhausted. I literally felt like I had nothing left. Like I could not give anything to anybody else. I couldn't give anything to my husband. I couldn't give anything to friends. There was just nothing left of me. So I don't really feel that it's a selfish thing to take care of yourself. Really, what happens when you're on fire in life and when you take care of yourself and you do things that bring yourself joy and replenish your energy, what really happens is that you become a better person for other people. It gives you the power to be a better mom and a friend and employee. It gives you a greater joy in life that makes you better for other people. So that's kind of why I'm on the go self-care side of the argument. I think it's super important for those reasons. I honestly am not always the best practicer of this preaching when it comes to self-care. I definitely struggle with that idea. Maybe I'm being selfish. However, it's something I'm working on, and I definitely encourage other people to take care of themselves. I just have a hard time realizing that I can't do everything. You know, I always want to be the best mom and be the best this and the best that. And it's difficult to let some of that go and just realize that I tend to have lower energy and I get exhausted easily. And I'm just gonna have to learn to do things that bring up my energy. So my tip for you today is exactly that. Write down a list of things that, not necessarily that you do for self-care, you could, but things that bring you joy and things that give you energy. On the other side, write a list of things that deplete your energy. So for me, I'm trying to think of definitely being around children. Sorry, that makes me sound like a bad person, doesn't it? Oh. I've never been that naturally gifted with children, and they very much deplete my energy. I still find they're so joyful and lovely. I love children. I just find it very exhausting being around them, including my own child. So that's really hard for me, and it's very difficult for me to admit, but that's the truth. It depletes me. So just kind of think of those things that really take away from your energy and exhaust you. And I think having that knowledge about yourself can kind of help you move forward and make a plan for what you can do. So then when you're thinking about things you can do for your self-care, always talk to other people, see what they do. A lot of people like to post about on social media about how they're doing like a bubble bath with some wine. That's fine if that works for you, but if not, there are plenty of other things that you can do for self-care. In fact, your self-care doesn't even have to be focused on the self. It could be volunteering or taking a walk outside and contemplating nature, anything that really revives your spirit. And then my second tip is to just do it. Thank you, Nike, for that one. That's like my lifelong theme, just do it. And what I mean by that is that when you think of it, try to work in the habit of just going to do it. So, for example, with myself, I love meditating. It helps me immensely, and it's really sad that I don't take the time for it. So, what I've been trying to do lately is that when I think of it, instead of talking myself out of it and providing excuses about why I can't do it, I've been trying to just go do it and not really think about it. And I think that's a good way to start building that habit so that your mind is like, yeah, we can go do that, instead of being like, no, we got other things to do. So that's pretty much what I have for you with self-care. I would love to hear your thoughts about what do you do for self-care and what do you think, which side of the fence are you on, whether it's selfish side or it's necessary. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Just to close things out, I do think that sometimes we can live in a narcissistic society and people spend a lot of time focused on themselves. But again, I really feel that self-care is a tool for you to be a better person, to serve others in the world. So I hope that you found this interesting, and we would love to hear from you. You can reach us at aglowpodcast@gmail.com. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. We would love to share all of our stuff with you if you're interested, and let us know your thoughts, comments, suggestions, anything. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.